Is it wrong to make mistakes? Is it okay for humans to make mistakes? What's going on, everybody? This is Felix. Today is episode number 4, and in this video, we're going to talk about mistakes. Have you ever found yourself worrying or in fear of making a mistake? Have you ever found yourself wondering whether you should do something or not? Or have you ever found yourself just thinking, how will people perceive me if I make mistakes? How will people perceive me if I don't achieve this goal? Have you ever found yourself thinking that way? If you have, then you're not alone. There's a lot of people who worry about being judged when they make mistakes. There's a lot of people who are scared to do something because they think so and so is going to judge them, or they think so and so is going to label them. I myself, I've been through that back in the days when I was a little younger. I always took people's the way people viewed me into consideration whenever I wanted to do something. But the older I've gotten, I just say, damn, I'm the maker of my own path, right? I get to decide whether to bounce back from these mistakes. Right. So in this video, I just want to bring this up, and I want to share my thoughts on this topic and see if this resonates with you, and if there's a point that touches you, if you get an awakening from this episode, then I'll be really happy that you're one step closer to getting to where you want to be. And we're gonna talk about how we can turn mistakes into opportunities. A lot of times, right? A lot of times, most people look at mistakes as a bad thing. But without mistakes, you're not going to be able to learn how to get to the next level. Without mistakes, you're not going to be better at doing something, right? So in this video, it's going to be all about that. Before I get into it, I just want to ask you one more question. How do you feel about things? How did you feel about the last mistakes that you made? Did you feel judged? Did you feel very low? Did you feel like nobody understood you? Right? Did you feel like, this is the end of things? Or did you feel like, okay, I messed up again? I'm aware that I messed up and I need to rectify this and learn from it so I can move forward, right? How did you respond to that mistake, the last mistake you made? Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. Okay, let's talk about this. So picture this, okay? Picture yourself one day, sitting in a balcony overlooking the city, right? Or just sitting in a nice restaurant, looking through the window and seeing the cars drive by, right? Now, while you're sitting there, you have no worry in your head because that day you chose to wake up, right? You chose to dress up and you chose to go to that specific place so you could sit in the window and look at the cars drive by while you enjoy a nice meal. Or you chose this day because you wanted to go up, stand on top of the balcony and just look at the city. Or if you're in the countryside, you decided to just sit in front of your porch and just look out into the fields without worrying and knowing that you are the maker of that decision that day, right? Now, what I'm trying to say is that every mistake we make, we always have a chance to rectify it. Now, I found this quote here that I'm going to share with you guys. This is a very good quote. And hang on, let me find it. Okay. Yeah, so this quote, basically, I thought it would make sense to add it onto what we're talking about today. So here it is. It's about mistakes as well. So here's the quote. It says, You can pick up a mistake and carry it as a burden, or you can set it down and use it as a stepping stone to greatness. You can pick up a mistake and carry it as a burden, or you can set it down and use it as a stepping stone to greatness. How great do you want to be? Knowing that when you pick up a mistake, you have the option to either carry that mistake with you for life, or you can choose to put this mistake down, right? And use it as a bridge to go past the river and get to the other side of town, right? Now, whatever you're working on today, whether it's business, whether it's relationship, whether it's finance, whether it's, health and fitness, whatever that thing is, you're guaranteed to make a mistake at some point. That's inevitable. But how do you address that issue? How do you address the mistake that you've made during that journey, during that process? How do you address that mistake? That's what I want us to understand today, right? There's a power in knowing that as human beings, we have this weakness in us. And this weakness comes with its limitation. Now, the limitation to our weakness is that we will always make mistakes. But the beautiful thing about this is, what do we do with that mistakes, right? Are we going to choose to get up? Are we going to choose to dwell in that mistake? Or are we going to choose to say, okay, enough is enough. Time to snap out of this and just keep moving forward. Remember, this saying that I just shared with you says you can pick up a mistake and carry it as a burden, or you can set it down and use it as a stepping stone to greatness. Again, I'll ask you, how great do you want to be on this journey that you're on? Wherever the journey is, how great do you want to be? Now, that's a question that you need to answer by yourself. How great you want to be. Now, mistakes that I've made. I don't know if you can relate to this. If you can, please leave a comment below here so that I can understand where you're coming from as well, right? Your thoughts and how you felt about the mistakes you made. Now, the mistakes that I've made a lot of mistakes, right? One of the mistakes that I made in terms of health and fitness, a mentor of mine told me a long time ago that it's important to be able to balance working out and being able to work, right? Like a 9 to 5 or work in the office, right? And working out as in doing exercise. So I got so busy working that I never paid attention to my health. I never paid attention to exercise. Now, 1 year later, I wasn't even aware of this. When I looked at myself in the mirror, I was like, damn, who is this, right? It wasn't the guy who used to have that six-pack. It wasn't the guy who was very fit, right? But instead, it was a different guy. Now, most people call that kind of body a dad bod, right? Dad as in daddy and dad. So a dad bod. That's that's basically what I woke up one day and looked at myself and I was like, damn, I am that guy now, right? I am that guy who didn't take the time to do push-ups. I'm that guy who didn't take the time to exercise. And now look at me, look at the results of, look at the outcome of this activity, look at the outcome of this choice. Right? Now, this is the mistake that I made. Now, did I choose to cry over this? Did I choose to complain? Or did I choose to carry this burden? Right? Instead, what I did was the not logical thing to do. What I did was something that I know should be done, which is say, okay, now that I'm aware of this issue, what is the next step for me to do? The next step for me to do is to find a mentor, somebody who can guide me through my exercises, through my workout, and through my diet, so that I'm eating well, I'm exercising regularly, and I'm maintaining the best shape that I possibly can. Because as we know, the older we get, the harder it is for our bodies to digest the foods we eat. Of course, everybody's metabolism is different, and we can get into debate about that, but this video is not about it. But what I'm saying is that everybody has different metabolism. And I know a lot of people can't fully digest the food they ingest because the older you get, the slower your metabolism becomes for the most part, right? And as a result, if you don't exercise, if you don't maintain a healthy eating and exercise lifestyle, you end up with a body like that, right? So this mistake that I made have taught me something. It's taught me that you need to create a balance in your life, right? It's good to have a balance in your life. If you're working out, set time for working out, set time to eat properly, set time to exercise, set time for your emotional well-being and spiritual well-being as well. It can't just be one. That is going to cause an imbalance, right? A mentor told me that if you're not in alignment with these core things, your spirituality, your mindset, your health, right? The things you eat, if you're not in alignment with the core elements, then something is going to be off. You're never going to be fully fulfilled because all these things need to align, right? All the things needs to align. Have you ever wondered why some people, okay, I'm not going to get into this. This is like something else, but just understand that some people choose to give up because the pressure that comes with the imbalance caused, right? Not having a spiritual balance, a physical balance, a mental balance, right? Not having a balance. Some of it could be medical reasons, but if you're sane and you don't have the balance, all the things checked and balanced, then that eventually will become an issue, right? So my point is, understand the fact that you need to have a balance, and then understand that every mistake that you make, you have the opportunity to correct it. In yesterday's video, which is going to be linked below this in the comment section or attached somewhere to this video. So yesterday I talked about how I wanted you to picture yourself in your 60s. If you're still young, if you're not there yet, if you picture yourself in your 60s, in your 70s, in your 80s, 90s, even in your 100th year. Now, with that in mind, when you look back, are you going to want to look back and say, oh, I made this mistake and I wish I corrected it? Or are you going to look back and say, damn, when I was young, I made so many mistakes, but thankfully I had a mentor tell me that you can actually put these mistakes down and use it as a stepping stone, use it as a bridge to get to the next level, right? So in your old age, I want you to picture yourself in your old age and then look back in time to today and tell me how you would address this situation, right? How you would address this situation. Because the worst thing that could possibly, not the worst thing, but one of the worst things is on the list of worst things. One of the worst things is when you're in your old age, if you're lucky to live that long, if when you're in your old age and you look back in time and you're filled with regrets because you are listening to what people say, and that stopped you from doing the things that you wanted to do because you were so full of yourself that you didn't take the time to be like, you know what? I don't care what people say. I care about me and I care about the things I want to do and I care about my dream. So I'm going to take the time to manifest my dream so that in my old age, I do not regret. Remember, if you pursue your dream, again, correction, yesterday I said, we're going to change the narrative. So instead of pursuing and chasing your dreams, you're going to start to manifest your dream. Sit down, think about your dream your dream, come up with the actions, and then begin to manifest that dream instead of chasing your dreams, right? Remember, when you chase something, something runs away. But when you sit still and you attract something, something comes to you. Remember the fisherman who goes out, the fisherman or the fisherwoman who goes out in the lake, puts their hook in the water and stays patiently, right? Notice this person is not chasing the fish in the water because he's not going to be able to catch that fish. And if he does, it probably might take him a long, long, long time, like very, 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 very long time, right? But he understands that all he has to do is sit there, put the hook in the water with the bait, and the fish is going to come towards it. The bait is going to attract the fish towards the hook, and then the fish is going to bite it. And then before you know it, he has a fish. Hence the fisherman and fisherwoman. What about you? Are you going to be the fisher of your dream? Are you going to be the person who sits still manifest their dream and attracts their dreams towards them. Because when you understand this concept, when you understand that your dream is something that you need to attract, you don't want to chase your dreams, right? Now, this I talked about it in yesterday's videos. Today is about mistakes. So once you understand the narrative now, once you begin to attract things instead of chasing things, you're going to be on another level of thinking, right? You're going to begin to operate differently. So take all those mistakes you've made, understand that you can correct those mistakes, and understand that each and every human being, including me, including you, including anybody, we've all made mistakes, but it's how we respond to that mistake that defines our next step, that defines our success level, that defines how high we're going to get elevated. So this is all I have for you guys today, right? Think about this. Think about it when you're in your 80s, right? When you look back in time, think about why you should stop worrying about what people think about you, right? Because at the end of the day, people have their own problems. They're thinking about themselves. For the most part, they're really not even thinking about you and your problems. But in your head, in our heads, we always think that, oh, so and so is thinking about us and they're going to judge us when we make this mistake. But that is not true. To a certain degree, it's true. But for the most part, people have their own problems that they worry about. So a lot of times they don't spend their whole time, sitting there trying to judge you, right? So with that understanding, remember, always just think about yourself when it comes to mistakes that you've made. Think about how you can correct it. Think about how you can move forward, and think about how you can better the situation so you can get to the next level, right? So thanks for staying with me up to now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode number 4. It's really exciting. There's a lot of good things coming up in the near future. And I'm really excited to be able to share with you guys so many things, right? In terms of your personal brand, how you can take your brand to the next level. If you have a message, how you can share this message with the world, right? This is something that I'm going to be talking about in this channel. And I'm really excited to be able to kind of help some of you guys get to that next level, whereby you can just take your personal brand. Just like Jay-Z said that he's not the business, he's the businessman, right? So you yourself, your brand, and you are the business. You can turn that into something that you can produce income from if you want to take it that way, or you can just turn it into something that people adore and admire, right? So this is some of those things we're going to be talking about in this channel. And with that being said, I don't want this video to go too long. Remember to subscribe, like, share this video with somebody whom you think might enjoy it. And remember, turning your mistakes into opportunities, right? Turn all your mistakes into your opportunity. You can pick up a mistake and carry it as a burden, or you can set it down and use it as a stepping stone to greatness. That's all for today. I'll see you in my next videos. I love you all. Cheers.